Hello, and welcome to another episode of Eat In with Adam and John. I'm Adam, and today we're gonna make a deceptively bland-sounding soup. It's called yellow broth, and that doesn't sound very exciting, but I found that this is a soup that everyone I've ever served it to has enjoyed. So to start with, the first thing you need is 1 carrot. Whoa. Is this a monster carrot or what? Okay, so this is more than 1 carrot as a recipe would call for. This is actually the last carrot from my garden. This is probably more like 1 carrot for from a recipe. So I need to chop this up, and it says chop it up relatively fine. It doesn't need to be super tiny, it's just, you know, little bits, just little bits. All right, I got my carrot all cut up. Now I'm going to get, I'll use this burner. I'm going to get this saucepan going, and I'm going to put in some olive oil. Oh, this is a heavy boy. You can use butter, you could use shortening, you could use margarine. I mean, all that matters is that you're getting some oil, probably about 2 tablespoons, just enough to sort of cover the bottom of the pan and then sort of coat the carrot and then later the onion. And I will go ahead and dump the carrots into the pan. Now the next thing on the list is an onion. I'm going to go for about half of this is kind of a large onion, so I'm going to use half of this. Get rid of the sticker. Again, we're going to want to cut this up into relatively smaller pieces. In this recipe, I don't want the huge chunks, but again, if you decide you just really like big chunks of onion and carrot in your yellow broth soup, go for it. You might need to experiment with the different kinds of onions sold at the grocery store or wherever you go to get your onions. Some of them, major tear jerkers. I've sat here cutting onions before and I would have tears streaming from my eyes. Just nothing I could do about it because the volatile fumes from the onion would just overwhelm my eyes. Other onions like this one here, you notice there's no tears in my eyes. I think this is a sweet Vidalia onion. So these tend not to cause me to cry, but some of the others might. And you know, for this recipe, if you wanted, you could use whatever kind of onion you want. Probably not the green onions or chives, but you could use a red onion. That might be kind of neat. Now I'm going to put in 1/4 cup of flour. Be sure to use a different spoon from the one that you've been mixing up with. You don't want to get all that residue into your flour bin. Stir that in, helps soak up a little bit of the oil, helps collect some of the color from the carrots. That's where the yellow in the yellow broth comes from, actually. After that comes 3 cups of broth. You can use chicken stock, you can use vegetable stock. I'm going to use water and a vegetable bouillon cube. Stir it up a little. And now what I'm going to do is let it heat up until it gets to a bit of a simmer. That'll allow the bouillon cube, in this case, to dissolve completely. And it'll also finish cooking the carrots and onions. I'm going to use nice baby spinach. You can use older spinach. It doesn't really matter. Adult spinach is okay. You need 4 ounces. So this package is actually, where'd it go? Oh, here it is. 6 ounces. So that means I'm going to need 2/3 of the spinach in here. That's about 4 ounces. Save the rest for later. You should stir occasionally, again, because some of that flour is still stuck on the bottom of the pan. It'll take a little while to get it completely dissolved into the broth. And I'm going to take the spinach and I'm going to slice it up in little bits. You don't have to cut this into teeny tiny bits, but depending on the size of the leaves, you might want to cut it down a little bit. Alright, so I got my 4 ounces of chopped spinach. Like I said, the spinach will wilt pretty quickly in the hot water. So let that simmer for a little while. The next thing we add is a 1/4 cup of oatmeal. Kind of odd. Another thing I don't normally think of putting into a sort of soup. But yes, we get like just a 1/4 cup of regular oatmeal. Then you can add 2 tablespoons of, what I'm going to use is powdered milk to keep the soup kind of light. You could also use cream, light cream, heavy cream, whatever. Just 2 tablespoons. So again, once the powdered milk or cream is pretty well mixed in, you can add some pepper for garnish, you know, however much pepper you want. I would put a little pepper in. I wouldn't put too much because after all, when you serve it to your guests, they can add more pepper. It's yellow broth soup. Again, you can cut it finer than that so you have smaller pieces of carrots and spinach and so forth. But like I said, I've served this to people many a time and I've never gotten complaints.